Hello ladies and gents, Ro here, and welcome to NOandROfilms. Today we're going to continue our Apple weekly news, and before I begin, I do want to mention that at the end of this video I'll be giving you guys a brief recap of the Worldwide Developers Conference and the notes that I have from the conference as well. But for the news portion, if you go to your App Store, you'll more than likely find an update for your iTunes version 12.5, and I have a link in the description for you guys for a video giving you guys a full detailed video regarding the iTunes 12.5 update. But let's go ahead and jump straight to the first article of the day, and that is that iPhone 7, which was not mentioned during the Worldwide Developers Conference at all, and I was really surprised about that. I was really hoping they would say something about it, but honestly, we didn't hear a single thing. But the iPhone 7 is supposedly in production right now, mass production, and we'll have the 4.7 iPhone 7, the standard, and then the 5.5-inch iPhone 7 Plus, and the top of the line 5.5-inch iPhone 7 Pro. It could also be known as the iPhone 7 Plus Premium, as it was cited from this article here below. Moving on, also, if you do want to get a hold of the iOS and the macOS beta, you can go ahead and navigate to this website, but I'll have a link in the description for you guys. You can just click on it and enroll your Mac. Just a disclaimer real quick, if Apple actually recommends that if you do this, I highly recommend you back up your Mac before doing it, just in case something does happen to your device. But you have available options for both your iPhone for beta, the iOS 10 beta, or the macOS, which is, I forgot what it's called, I believe it was Sierra. Yes, yeah, macOS Sierra right there. And it's actually, I'm personally actually running on it right now, and I'm really enjoying it. Last but not least, we do have the Prisma app here. It's really cool. Be sure to check it out. I have a link in the description again. And basically, you can turn your photos into like these artsy looking photos, just like this. Be sure to check it out. Now, like I said, I'm going to be covering the quick recap of the Worldwide Developers Conference. I got some notes here when I was actually watching the conference. Beginning, they started off with watchOS 3, and they wanted to show how faster and the responsive time had been increased by like 10 times, I believe it was. And they gave you an example from the previous OS, OS 2 to OS 3, and they showed like the OS 2 probably had a 5-second delay, and the OS 3, watchOS 3, was completely instant, which honestly was a surprise for me too, especially for a watch, and it's quite powerful. And then the macOS Sierra, they talked about the new update and what it's going to include. The auto unlock feature, basically if you lock your computer, you can auto unlock it through an additional iOS device, like through your Apple Watch or your iPhone. The seamless keyboard, copy one device and paste to another device. You can, just like on your actual Apple Watch or your iPhone, if you're copying something on your iPhone, you can actually go ahead and paste it from your desktop or your computer. If you're copying something on your computer, you can go ahead and paste it on your iOS device. And I think that that is a really cool feature, because now you have like basically all Apple products talking to one another, and I think this could come in handy, and I'm sure it's going to have an on and off switch if you don't personally prefer using this. iCloud Drive, they made several expansions to this. They offered additional items and additional I didn't write too many of these about this. I'm not a fan of iCloud Drive. I feel like the storage thing should be free, honestly, but it is a paid service as well. But you get 5 gigabytes free to start with. Apple Pay on Mac for the web. Also, if you have Siri, and if you're making transactions online often on your computer, like eBay, Amazon, you name it, and you actually can use Apple Pay on your Mac now through, keep in mind you gotta have macOS Sierra for this, and it's still in beta, and I personally haven't tried it, but I'm excited for this as well. I really enjoy using the actual Apple Pay on my iPhone, and I've used it at several places and use it quite often whenever it's available. Picture-in-picture on Mac option. I personally have not really figured this out yet, but basically what you can do is when you're full screened, for example like this, you're full screened, my whole browser here is full screen, you'll actually can basically make another image, or you can drag another window inside of that window. Basically, you can just another multitasking option, I would say. Siri on Mac is finally here. I am running on OS Sierra as well, so I do have Siri right here. and I'm actually going to quit out of it. But Siri's a lot more powerful. She's integrated into your applications, recent, so you can find files with her, music control, honestly, and there's a such thing called a Siri results, and she gives you like a list of items or recents, and it's honestly really cool. I've been playing around with it, and there are still, it's a little glitchy. I've had some minor issues, but like I said, it is the beta. Now let's go into the iOS 10, which is for your iPhone and iPad and iOS devices. They redesigned the control center completely. It's really cool. Honestly, it looks really slick. If I could show you guys right now, I would, but I currently don't have my iPhone hooked up. But you can swipe left and right on your control center, get into your music or to your standard control center options. The new Siri also within your iOS, she's integrated into your apps, and app developers can actually now integrate their portion of the application into Siri. So if you talk to Siri regarding to an app, like launching an application, but not just launching an application, you can talk to her like, do this in an application, and she'll be able to comprehend that because the developers now have access to Siri. I hope I didn't explain that too difficultly. Photos, face recognition, and when I say face recognition, it's not just like it really recognizes the face, and there's so many things that I think there were like 230. I saw a list of things that iOS or Photos recognizes now regarding the face. It's kind of like almost creepy, I would say, but it's really cool advancement in technology too, because it can tell if you're sad, happy, excited, or like nauseous. It's really honestly completely amazing. The maps, proactive new redesigned look. I haven't personally dived in too deep into the maps, but I have seen several other videos and images, and it looks actually a lot. It looks really slick. New Apple Music for iOS. I've been playing around with this as well because I do have Apple Music and Beats Radio, and it's nice. I think there's still other improvements they could use. Like they did move your My Music tab, the library tab, to the main like launch. That way you're not constantly being booted or launched into Apple Music. You just go straight to your library first, which I do enjoy that improvement. Lyrics are now presented through Apple Music, which is really cool. Now, if you don't know the lyrics, you can just scroll down right there for the song. You got the lyrics right there on your device, so you don't have to go Google them or search them up anywhere. More news for the news app, basically targeted. It's almost like targeted ads, but if the way you set it up based on your location, based on what you're interested in, the news app will actually be able to tell you and give you several news articles from several different other companies that blog sites that will go straight to your simple one app, and I think that this is really cool. HomeKit upgrade. This also they have a new app that comes out with iOS 10. It's called the Home app, and you can basically integrate your entire house into this Home app. Automation, Apple TV connected all into this one app, and you can control your whole house. Like if you have an automatic door, you have a honestly, it's crazy with this technology. I could just see maybe 2 years from now having like homes that are just electricity flowing everywhere, and everything's connected through your device, and your key is just your phone. So if you lose your phone, you've almost lost pretty much access to everything, which would kind of suck. But I'm sure there's other works around for that. Messaging app improvements, Emojify, they're calling it, and tap back feature. Emojify, I've been playing around with this. I think it's still a little buggy, especially on like if you have the iPhone like 5S. I found it to be more glitchy on there than the iPhone 6S. And the difference, it's really cool that like basically adding all these other additional options and animations and like GIFs, images. It's like becoming another like Facebook messaging app almost. But I wouldn't even want to compare it to that because I personally don't like the messaging app. But the iMessage app it's really hard to explain. You would probably have to try it out yourself one time. And I'm sure I'll more likely make a video about it in the future, giving you a full in-depth review of that. Messages open in the developers too. That's basically with the Siri and how she's integrated to the applications. Notes collaborator, work in notes with others, and that's where I have notes here. You have this little extra option, add people to this note, and you can have multiple people working on the same note. Basically, if you're doing, I think this would be really cool feature if you're like, yeah, you're taking notes in class. You could have a whole group of people in one and just get a whole note document. I think that'd be really cool, especially if they all have Macs. And then split view for iPad, which it is available on the Mac, just like this split view, and now you have the splits just like this. Now you can also do that on the iPad. And then Swifty keyboard, not last but not least, they did announce Swift Playgrounds as well for the iPad. Swifty keyboard is free, easy way to learn and code Swift. So if you have an iPad mini, go ahead and download the free Swifty keyboard app, and you can actually start learning to code right away, like right now. And honestly, coding is something I've been getting into myself, and I'm really enjoying it, and I highly recommend everybody else gets into it, because it really spikes your creative mind. That's it for this video, you guys. It might have been quite a little bit long, but if you stuck to the end, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next video. Later.
So let my life be